Hey everyone, welcome to the first episode of Real Talk by Goyal, the space where we dive into honest conversations about life, culture, and everything that connects us across the world. I'm your host, Anil Goyal, and today we're exploring something that so many people wonder about: how the American education system is different from India's. To make this conversation even more insightful, we have a wonderful guest joining us all the way from Chicago, Bethny, an educator and someone who's been deeply involved in the US school system. Bethny, welcome to Real Talk by Goyal.
Thank you so much, Anil. I'm super excited to be here. Education is something I'm really passionate about, and I think it's amazing that we're having this cross-cultural conversation.
Let's start from the beginning: early education. In India, we usually have a very structured path: nursery, kindergarten, and then grades 1 to 12. The focus, especially in early years, is on learning alphabets, numbers, and memorization. How does it look in the US?
That's a great question. In the US, it's somewhat similar. We start with preschool and kindergarten. But the approach is different. American schools focus more on learning through play in early years. Kids are encouraged to explore, ask questions, and express creativity rather than just memorize.
Right, that's a big contrast. In India, even small kids are expected to learn rhymes, alphabets, counting, and sometimes even write sentences by the time they reach kindergarten.
Exactly. Whereas in the United States, we believe the early years should build social skills, curiosity, and confidence. The academics come naturally when children enjoy learning.
That's really interesting. I think in India, the pressure starts quite early. Parents want kids to perform and score high even in kindergarten. Now, one of the biggest differences I've noticed is in the teaching style. Indian education is often lecture-based, very teacher-centered. Students listen, take notes, and then prepare for exams. What's it like in American classrooms?
In the US, the classroom is more student-centered. Teachers encourage discussions, projects, and hands-on learning. Students often work in groups and are encouraged to think critically, not just remember information.
So in India, we tend to focus a lot on rote learning, memorizing textbook material to score in exams.
Yes, I've heard that. In the US, memorization isn't the goal. It's about understanding why things work. For example, in science class, instead of memorizing chemical formulas, students might conduct experiments to see those reactions themselves.
That's a big difference. In India, exams are the ultimate measure of success, while in the US, it sounds like practical learning and participation matter more.
Exactly. Grades are important, but creativity, teamwork, and communication skills are valued equally.
Let's talk about exams, something every Indian student knows too well. In India, exams are a big deal. We have board exams in grade 10 and 12 that often decide our future: which college we'll go to, what career path we might take. How's it in the US?
In the US, we definitely have standardized tests like the SAT and ACT, but they're not the only deciding factor. Students are evaluated through a mix of assignments, projects, quizzes, and class participation throughout the year.
That's more balanced. In India, a single exam can make or break your academic year.
Exactly. The American system tries to reduce pressure by focusing on continuous assessment. Teachers also pay attention to a student's emotional well-being, not just grades.
That's something India is slowly adopting too, especially in newer schools where there's more focus on holistic learning. But culturally, we still carry that idea that marks define intelligence.
Yes, in the US, we emphasize that failure is part of learning. A bad grade doesn't mean you're not smart. It means you need to approach it differently next time.
Now let's jump to college life. That's another area people love comparing. In India, most students stay at home if their college is nearby, and our parents play a big role in decision making. from what we study to our daily schedule.
Oh, that's quite different from the US. Most American students move out for college. It's seen as a step toward independence. They choose their own subjects, manage their time, and even work part-time jobs.
That's such a cultural shift. In India, parents are very protective. They want their children to focus entirely on studies. Working part-time during college isn't very common.
Yes, but I think there's value in both systems. Indian students often develop strong discipline and academic dedication, while American students gain independence and problem-solving skills early on.
That's well said. I think the ideal system would combine both strong academic foundation and real-world learning.
Absolutely. And another key difference is flexibility. In American universities, students can change their majors, explore multiple subjects, or even create their own course combinations.
Yes, in India, once you pick a stream, science, commerce, or arts, it's tough to switch. That flexibility could really help students find their true passion. Let's talk about technology, because the pandemic really changed how both countries approach education.
Definitely. In the US, most schools were already using digital tools before COVID, like Google Classroom and online resources. So the transition to online learning was smoother.
That's true. In India, especially in smaller towns, online education was a big challenge. Limited internet access, lack of devices, and teachers adapting to tech.
Yes, but I've seen a lot of progress in India recently. EdTech companies, online courses, and even hybrid models. It's impressive how fast India adapted.
Exactly. I think the pandemic accelerated modernization for both systems, and now students have more global exposure than ever. Let's touch on something personal: the cultural mindset behind education. In India, education is often seen as the ultimate path to success. Parents make huge sacrifices to ensure their kids study well.
Yes, and that's something I truly admire about Indian culture: the respect for education and teachers. In the US, the mindset is more about discovering who you are through education. It's less about grades and more about finding your purpose.
That's beautiful. In India, we are slowly shifting toward that, from you must become a doctor or engineer to do what makes you happy. But it's still a work in progress.
And that's okay. Every country evolves at its own pace. What's important is that we learn from each other's systems and take the best parts forward.
Bethany, this has been such an eye-opening conversation. It's fascinating to see how two education systems, built on such different philosophies, can both create incredible individuals.
Absolutely. At the end of the day, education is about empowering people, whether in India or the US. And I think these kinds of conversations help us appreciate both sides better.
Couldn't agree more. Thank you so much, Bethany, for sharing your insights with us today.
Thank you, Anil. It's been a pleasure being part of Real Talk by Goyal.
And to all our listeners and viewers, thank you for tuning in. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and leave a comment about what education system you think works best or what lessons both could learn from each other. I'm Anil Goyal, and this was Real Talk by Goyal. See you in the next episode. Until then, stay curious and keep it real.